Well, it's really difficult to take mourning, Nick. I mean, that's the problem when you have racism in your party, and as you mentioned, the EHRC is extremely significant. It's taken, possibly a year and a half to get through the weight of evidence that they have, because it's such a significant problem. And traditionally, Labour prides itself on its anti-racist badge, and if you can't rely on that party, then that's the problem that the country's faced. We've had no opposition in terms of politics, in terms of credible opposition, and there's no opposition in terms of the far right, because you can't listen to people who encourage the kind of extremism that they have encouraged. And I understand a lot of the public won't, they think it's, possibly right-wing smears, or it's not real, but I've seen this firsthand. I've had to have the police around to my house. I've had to increase my security. I've had death threats from these people that John McDonnell props up. So no, personally, I can't take any criticism of extremism from somebody like that.
Rachel, let me ask you this, and I've had the pleasure and the privilege of working at Jewish events with you in the past, and we've had a really good time with some lovely people.
Yeah.
Do you think the anti-Semitism issue is obviously going to play in a city such as London or in Manchester, or parts of Glasgow, where there are a high number of Jewish people? Do you think actually it's played right across the country, where people may not even know any Jewish people? It just speaks to the state of the Labour Party.
It has. I mean, yesterday, when I saw the first exit poll, I'll be perfectly honest, I burst into floods of tears, and I couldn't control the emotion, because it's been the hardest year. And I think I speak for a large number of Jews when I say it's just tearing people apart. And when one of the early results came in, I think Laura Kunzberg mentioned that Kate Liniger was embroiled in some controversy, and she said, this is coming up on the doorstep. This is something that really means something to people, because a lot of the way we've been fighting is by using Twitter to expose things that have been happening. And Twitter is largely skewed to actually see that the general public, Britain, rejects terrorism, terrorist supporters, it rejects anti-Semitism, it rejects bigotry. It's all the things that, as a Brit, I'm proud of my country for. We reject this kind of stuff, and to actually see it in practice. I think it's a sorry state of affairs that I think this is a very unpopular government for a large number of people, and they didn't have a credible opposition. So I don't think it's anything to celebrate. Right. But it's just huge relief, and it's just huge amounts of gratefulness.
All right, Rachel, I will leave it there. Thank you for your time. Rachel Riley is, of course, presenter on Countdown, who has campaigned against and has been the victim of anti-Semitism.